Chilly cold.
Es ist kalt.
It is chilly cold. The winter finally arrived with a giant thud, so we're out here. We're doing it, but we're shivering a little.
Well, I'm under an electric blanket, and you can have more of the heater.
We have a little garage heater here that we're going on. Well, it's Friday, and I hope it's not chilly where you are, or if it is chilly where you are, I hope to goodness that you're enjoying it.
Well, I hate being hot.
I do. It's like in the summer when we were out here, like at the longest days of the month, in the middle of summer, and it was just like we had this heat wave this summer that just...
I don't think it was a heat wave because it just kept happening.
The way it used to be in Colorado is that it would be like in the summers would be like maybe if it was super hot, it would get into the 80s, but then at night it would drop into like the, 60s and 50s. Doesn't do that anymore. It just, this last summer was just hot. And
they were there through our videos.
You just have to sit there and take it. But, so this is better. I can put on more clothing and that's okay.
Yes. You can only get so naked.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. I am wearing a watch. And,
you are wearing a watch.
And you said it.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I put my time to good use while we were sitting at the table. Okay, let's do wrist check. What do you say? Sorry, mine's a little boring. Okay. Oh, you're wearing the Rolex I built you.
Yes, you're the one that said it for me.
I know. I just honestly, I said it and then I stopped thinking about it. I always tell this story. I built this Rolex for her out of bits and parts and things. It's a reprinted dial. The hands are original but reloomed. It's a genuine Rolex movement on the inside. It's an aftermarket bracelet. Just things like that. It's a cool mix and match. The nice thing is that it's very robust and she can wear it without fear, which is really, really important. She loves the way it looks. Or I'm talking for you. Do you love the way it looks?
Of course I do.
Okay. And I'm so sorry, people. I'm still wearing the same watch. I'm wearing my Lejour. It just does the job so well. It's currently, since I serviced it and put it on, which is probably like, God, it could be close to a month now, it has gained about 7 or 8 seconds. So like I said, I love this movement and I love this watch. I need to find a bracelet for it, but I'm really digging it. It's crazy how accurate it is. And because the loom was destroyed on the hands, I was able to relume it, which means I can read the time at night. It's just nice. It's a nice watch. I'm really enjoying it. Oh. It's just my go-to. Right now I just grab it and it works and it's so perfectly functional. Sorry. Right? Did I interrupt you?
No, I was going to start with the questions.
Oh, well, it's time for the questions.
Your hat got a little squishied in the closet.
Did it?
No, this hat.
Oh, this is my... Before I was married, my buddies and I, we were really into World War II, and every year we would save up our money and we would go on a buddy trip, and we would go to Oktoberfest. And we would, go, then once we were over there in Europe, we would then drive around and look at different, battlefields and World War II things. And at a certain point, I walked up a mountain, if you even want to call it that. But at their gift shop, they had these hats, and so I bought one.
Yeah, there's a lady in my hand building class who's she's from Berlin, and she was complaining that Americans think all of Germany is Bavaria.
I don't know. It's funny because when we go to Bavaria, go to Germany generally, and I've read this before. This was a thing, is that Germany feels actually kind of, feels pretty normal to me, and it always did.
You were there over 20 years ago.
Yeah, but every time I've ever been there, I was always blown away by that feeling of, and it wasn't just me, the guys I was with, people who had never left the country before, and it doesn't really, not that you don't feel like you're in a foreign country, it's that it feels understandable. It feels culturally sympathetic to where we come from. And it's just, I had a point, but I forgot what that point was.
It's all good.
Oh, well, anyway, but we spent a lot of our time in the south of Germany, and, maybe that was part of it.
Maybe.
They say it's the Texas of Germany.
Wow.
All right, well, let's do this thing.
Okay, last mail call. Last 9 breaker. As someone who lives in California, I hate the 8-month summers. If it wasn't for family, I'd move to Oregon, Washington, or Alaska, but that's just me. I wouldn't like summer for I don't like summer.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't be able to make your your chicken soup,
It's true.
all your fall stuff.
All my yummy foods.
Yeah, like your cornbread.
I made the best cornbread yesterday. It was awesome.
It's still awesome. Is it all gone?
No, but I've been picking at it. The cornbread isn't exactly a winter thing. Like, I just felt like making cornbread.
You know what? Could you do this? Can you type up your cornbread recipe and I'll put it in the comments?
I guess.
It requires a cast iron pan, but what the heck? Why not? So maybe I'll do that.
Okay, I'll try and remember.
Okay. Well, let's do it.
Well, we did, and the dude said he hates summer
I don't
in
know.
California.
It'd be nice. My car wouldn't mind. I managed to get a drive. People have asked about Green Bean, by the way. Green Bean is a little dusty. After the whole like thing, the giant push to get her ready for her road test, I was, I don't know, burned out or just shocked or, I needed a rest. But I have actually been driving the car. I managed to get in one last drive through like 2 days before the weather really turned. And so it was nice cruising around. I've really got to work on the carbs there. The car is running way too lean. I'm having to have the choke partially pulled out in order for it to keep going. So I need to learn more about those SU carbs and get them going. But if I lived in California, I'd be able to drive it more often. And I wouldn't have to worry about rust.
I was just remembering that Adventure Time episode about cars. Don't you remember they showed how to make cars work?
Oh, yeah. It was like an illustration. Yes, I remember.
True Blue Miata. Hi all, speaking of the magic lever, I saw a YouTube video by Chronoglide Watchmakers on the Ricoh auto winder. They too have a nifty design that uses a bascuile gear. Okay. He argues it is more robust than the Seiko design. Have you ever seen any of these watches?
I happen to have a Ricoh. I don't know that it has this automatic winding system, but let me put in a segment and I'll pull it out and we'll see if I can figure out something. Okay. So here are the 2 different winding systems. This is a Seiko winding system with its weight. This is a Ricoh. It's missing its weight. I don't have it. I'm not 100% sure what that would have looked like, but we can see how it works. It's not that hard to do. Now, the Seiko setup is extremely simple. This baby turns like so, and as it turns, the stamped out magic lever, which is right, gosh, do I have a magic lever? No, you can't really even see it here. It's this bit here. This is the post, eccentric post on the underneath of that oscillating framework. And this thing then goes around in circles, pumping as it goes. This thing, no matter which way this turns, these teeth will turn this reduction wheel here, which in turn will turn the ratchet wheel on the top of the mainspring. It's a very simple, very, very strong system, especially that it winds both ways. My Valjoux 7750 that's in this watch only winds one direction, but it's pretty efficient. So here's our Ricoh. So we can see that this winding mechanism then, to actually do the automatic winding, consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts plus their associated screws. Okay, so here we want to figure out, okay, so what in the heck is happening? The automatic winding weight would go right here, yes? The weight's gone, so we can't see anything move, but let's wind it and we can watch how the automatic gear train works backwards. So I'm turning the crown which is turning the crown wheel, which is turning this ratchet wheel. And then on the other side of it is the automatic winding gear that comes in here. So it's getting manual winding power from this side, automatic winding power from that side. The thing that is the thing is this little diddly in here. It's a little lever. And if the weight was turning this way, you can see the lever, these has 2 gears on it, tips over and engages this way. Yes? Like that. And then if the weight is turning the other direction, the whole lever changes, flips over, and this becomes the driving gear instead of the transmission gear. I think it's an interesting system. I think my watch has must have a broken escape wheel or a missing escape wheel or a missing pallet or something. The gear train is moving. Any case, I would say this is probably a pretty efficient winding system. That said, it has a lot more parts than the Seiko system. And I don't even know, talking about availability of parts, I'm not sure what we're actually going to have. I mean, how often are you going to be able to find these movements? But you really can see it pretty clearly there. And then we go back, wheels turning the other way, and there we go. Just like that. Very neat.
And now there's a bit for me.
Yay!
Sabrina, I just got a t-shirt from T Republic with a graphic of the old Maxell poster of the guy getting blown away by the sound. Oh, I know what one that is.
Yeah.
What?
No, nothing. Go on.
I thought of your recent comment about how their teas fade quickly. I turn all my teas with graphics inside out before washing them. Seems to help preserve them. I should do that.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt.
Robert Beatty 8744. Hi, watch your videos with great interest and admire your expertise with watches. 44 years ago, I was gifted a golden Tuna Seiko Pro Diver watch from my wife of 44 years as an engagement gift. I still have it. My research shows it to be model number PYF018, serial number 980137, and numbers 15497,009. It is in very good condition, but not running for at least the last 35 years. Could you tell me about the watch I have, and would you consider restoring it? Thanks again.
Thanks again for your content and wait to hear from you. Sorry to steal this from you. Sure. Well, why don't I can put in a... Well, should I talk about it?
I don't care.
I'll put in a second. Okay. Let's talk about Seiko's professional dive watches. They're 600-meter dive watches. You have a golden Tuna. This is mine. They're a professional dive watch with a single-piece titanium case monocoque design, screw-down ring to hold the crystal into an L-shaped gasket that prevents the entrance of helium into the case, which gets rid of the need to have a helium escape valve, which was a big deal. It was Seiko got a letter from a guy basically saying, hey, I'm a professional diver, a industrial diver, and I need a watch that can take it. And so in the mid-70s, Seiko brought their 6159 movement out of retirement basically, and they started making it again. And they put that movement, a high beat movement, into a titanium monocoque case, shrouded diver with a heavy duty Hardlex hardened mineral crystal tempered glass crystal with a screw down ring to hold the crystal firmly into the L gasket, and with this turns 360 degrees bidirectionally with a screw down crown. They made these for about a year and a half. They're pretty cool. But then the quartz revolution happened, and Seiko wanted to make this tool even better, even more reliable. Well, what's more reliable than this? One of Seiko's great designs. They designed this new movement, the 7549, this quartz movement, on the same architecture as the 6000 series. There's a mechanical movement that Seiko had at this time, the 6300 family, 6306, 6309, 6139, 6439, and they all use the same basic architecture. Obviously, the movement is different, but like the main plate, I could put an automatic movement at 6309 right in this, but but the calendar pieces are all exactly the same. They're very robust, very strongly made. They can be adjusted into extremely tight tolerances of a few, hundredths of a second per day accuracy. Seiko really swung for the fences when they made this movement, and they used it from their most expensive pieces all the way down to date-only dress watches. They put a lot of work and care into this, and there's a reason why this one is so well regarded. These are super cool. Trust me, these are awesome. There's nothing quite like a golden tuna. Mine's a little beaten up, a little worse for wear. But it's the JDM version with a kanji English day wheel. And these have, of course, day and date. This is only date. So anyway, that's what's going on. I can definitely work on it. If yours is in good condition like this, see the loom is all nice and white. That means moisture didn't ever get in. I mean, I've got a little toning down at the base there. And they're relatively straightforward to service, and they will give great service. They'll be an excellent, reliable timepiece for you. They were built to last. And with that, that's that. And we're back.
BW Seiko 7005 8022, lovely watch from 1974. Tactical Truth 8118. Question. I saw listed a 1973 Seiko 7005 7031 that was said to have been serviced. The amplitude was showing 150 with a beat error of 1.2. Should a serviced watch be running with those sorts of numbers, or is something a tad askew?
Yeah, those are, if those numbers sound like it's not serviced, or if it was serviced, it wasn't serviced properly. A 7005 fully serviced correctly will you're easily going to get 240s, 250s, and if the movement's in good shape physically, they'll easily cruise in the 260s and 270s, no problem whatsoever. So that sounds to me like someone just got a watch and it's not serviced, or if it's serviced really poorly, or there's something very wrong inside. Something's dragging, something's eating up power. I would be concerned. So there you go.
Seiko 101, how to tell if a 6309 dial is real or fake. Jim Collins 9999. Hello Spencer, nice tutorial video. One key ID characteristic of a real OEM Seiko 6309 dial is that the day-date window in a real dial will also have a beveled edge all the way around the rectangle.
Well, yeah, that's a real good thing to look for. There are two different sort of depths, though, of that. I'll put in a segment. I'll show two of those dials. Okay, talking date windows. So Seiko, they produce several versions of this dial. Looking around the date window, you can see it's got that angled beveled part. See that? Seiko had several different depths of that. These are both non-Sua. These are later dials, and you notice that bevel is there, but it's smaller. It's smaller than what I'm about to show you, which is this. That is a Sua dial. As you can see, it's got the short text on the bottom, and you can really tell the difference if I put these two together. See how much deeper that window is to this. There you go. Now, somebody did say that it was the fakes that had it, but the thing is, there's also the 6309 slim case. And the slim case 6309, this is a really hacked up dial, sorry. You can see it has no bevel at all. I think it was probably a production step they cut out when because these were made in Hong Kong, these were not made in Japan. And they cut steps out to try to, I'm sure, to make them, less expensive to produce. That's it. I have some beautiful dials, though. That's a nice one. That's a nice dial. Faded, but nice. Sometimes I dig through my stuff and I'm like, where did I get this? How's this dial doing? It's got some moisture damage, but it doesn't look bad. Someday this stuff will all come in handy, I'm sure. Put all this stuff away. Okay. There we go. And we're back.
Seiko 61380030 Champagne Dial Kakume. Firasol Jubori 1312. Great watch and a nice video. I am looking to buy a champagne color, but there are some models with orange hands and others with yellow hands. Which ones are original?
Well,
is it fading?
Yeah, they fade. The orange fades like crazy. It's one of Seiko's things. The orange color, whatever the material was, I think it's a polyester sheeting, or is it polyester or nylon? But basically, it's not paint. It's a layer that's laid down on the aluminum stock, and then the hands are stamped out of it. And that orange color that they had fades to a yellow, and then to sort of a chalky putty white. Not a pure white, kind of an off-white. It's just the way that it is. But they came when those watches were new. Though they really popped with the orange. It really, really looked like something. I've come up with a good paint mix that replicates that original orange color, but it has to be done, and it's to have it look original. That's pretty much about it.
Yep, that's pretty much about it.
That's pretty much about it? That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we don't have to freeze it to death anymore, but definitely happy. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. I've got to go and make all these videos now. Mm-hmm. The segments. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to break and go make the segments, and we'll put the video together. But if you're still watching, thank you so much for your support and continuing to watch our channel. It's extremely important to us that we keep doing that. We love your comments. Please keep them coming. I read every single comment. And that's it. Always love to talk watches. And that's it for another week. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bye. Bye. Bye.